Hello, and welcome to Our Community Matters, an annual celebration of the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio, which serves Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, and Dayton. The Urban League is at the heart of growth and positive change in our city. For 74 years, the League has worked to help Black people and others in historically underserved communities achieve their highest true social parity, economic self-reliance, power, and civil rights. The League is the oldest and largest community-based organization devoted to achieving racial and economic equity through Southwestern Ohio. In the past year, the Urban League has been especially focused on economic empowerment for individuals, families, and businesses. That has included supporting small businesses as they rebound from the effects of COVID-19 and developing personal finance strategies for individuals through their Financial Empowerment Center, which you'll hear more about later on in our show. You'll also hear about the great work being done by the League's Center for Social Justice, which is working on police reform in our community. Now, throughout the show, you will see that QR code on your screen. We hope you'll be inspired by the work the League is doing and that you choose to support that work by donating to their critical mission. But first, I am here with Christy Coons, President and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio. Christy, it's been so exciting having you on board. Tell us a little bit about how things have been going for you in this role.
Well, first, I am absolutely thrilled to be in this position. I have been a fan of the Urban League for many, many years. And so to actually step in these shoes and do the work is amazing. But before we go into the great work happening at the League, I want to take a moment to recognize our amazing board of trustees and staff who are the heartbeat of the League.
Now, you have just stepped into this role, but already doing big things. You've received so much recognition. The Urban League has been named Cincy Magazine's Nonprofit of the Year for issue advocacy and criminal justice. You've been recognized as one of the top 300 most powerful business leaders in the region by Cincy Magazine. This is all amazing.
Thank you. It's always great to receive recognition, but really I want to focus on the great people doing the work every day impacting our community. Our main focus is to address generational poverty. And in order to address something like generational poverty, you have to have the best in class working on these issues every day. And in order for us to attract and retain the best in class talent, we must offer best in class benefits and salaries. And so what we've done this past year is come up with a very competitive benefits package for our employees, as well as looking at every single salary in the organization to make sure that they are competitive with their market. You should not have to live in poverty to address poverty. And so we're making sure that that's not the case at the League.
Wow, that is really amazing to hear. And that's on top of the great work that you have already been doing in the community, which we are so excited to hear about. So let's get started. Christy, let's talk about the Lincoln and Gilbert initiative, because you were already working on this project before becoming president and CEO.
The Lincoln and Gilbert initiative leverages the expertise of multiple organizations who have expertise in working with minority-owned companies. It is housed at the Urban League in partnership with the Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky African American Chamber, the Greater Cincinnati Micro Enterprise Program, Mortar, Lightship Capital, and the Minority Business Accelerator at the Cincinnati Chamber. So far, we have given out 177 grants totaling close to $1 million. And in addition to that, we offer technical assistance through all of the partner agencies.
That is amazing. Let's hear from a couple of the recipients about how these grants have really impacted their businesses.
It is a new to market concept. It is an actual cereal bar where you can go and mix your favorite cereals together. And we just wanted to bring something to the neighborhood that was positive in a place that people can meet and gather and enjoy good times. The Urban League contacted us and said that we were the winners of the grant, so that was really cool.
It just gives us a little more cushion because we've taken out loans to make things happen. So grants are definitely a lot better.
I 100% believe that it's important to have money set aside to help minority business owners because we didn't have generational wealth. Any little bit helps for us to get to the next step of where we're trying to get to.
My boutique, I opened it just 3 years ago. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary. And I really wanted to be able to showcase women clothing that is really modern and it's like new and up to date for today's woman. It's been really great to be able to have access, especially to grants, for your business when you have a small business, needing things like marketing, understanding how to reach your customer to help to keep the business going, possibly to try something new, as well as to keep my clients, engaged in my business with being able to bring them new merchandise. It really helps us to understand and maybe even to have other people who have went through the same struggles that we have, being a minority business owner, what we can do to improve our businesses. So understanding that these grants are so beneficial because then they help you kind of break out of some of those rules and continue to, have a dream and have it realized.
On behalf of the Urban League, I'd like to highlight tonight's sponsors. Our platinum sponsors, Fifth Third Bank, Procter & Gamble, Union and Guardian Savings Banks. Our Ruby sponsor, J. Phillip and Gail Holloman. Our gold sponsors, Duke Energy, Greater Cincinnati Foundation, Interact for Health, Path Forward, U.S. Bank, and UC Health. A special thank you to our media partner, WLWT, our production partner, NAC Video and Photo, and a special shout out to the Cincinnati Art Museum for allowing us to film in this beautiful location.
Current turbulence in the economy has highlighted now more than ever the need for everyone to be educated and financially empowered. The Urban League created the Financial Empowerment Center to provide a full range of services and support to help individuals and families achieve financial stability, economic self-sufficiency, and build wealth, including financial coaching, credit counseling, and financial empowerment workshops. One of their especially innovative programs is Black Men and Money, designed to ensure financial education is provided not only to Black men, but the entire Black community. At the crux of everything they do is aid, awareness, inspire, and desire to bring in awareness of financial concepts, which inspires the creation of a budget leading to a desire for an action plan to support financial stability. Since 2021, the FEC has impacted over 2,000 individuals in our community through over 200 financial education courses. Now let's hear more about the work the Financial Empowerment Center is doing.
The Financial Empowerment Center, known also as the FEC, we are really there to assist families and individuals achieve that financial stability and independence, not only for yourself, but your family as well. What I do is to empower them to change themselves and the situation now so that it ultimately affects the future and their kids for whatever goal that person is wanting to reach. I'm there to help them stay on those steps and ultimately reach that goal at the end.
So a financial coach gives you all the great information in order to maintain good credit. If you don't know the steps to take to keeping good credit and maintaining good credit, she tell you what and what not to do, who are the authorized users or the people that you can reach out to in order to maintain a great job or keep a wonderful home. You really do have to have good credit.
So we offer one-on-one coaching. We offer workplace financial literacy education as well. And that is a variety of topics such as credit, savings, budgeting, all of those main topics of financial literacy. And we also partner with financial institutions to bring Wealth Building Wednesday, where we talk about subjects to build wealth in the community.
I feel it's really beneficial for people who wants to be financially sustainable. And if you know more about credit, I feel like it will take you a long way.
So the Black Men and Money is a very special class that we implemented. It's a virtual class, so anyone can join it and you can join it anywhere. It's led by Black men that have been through struggles that most Black men go through, so they share a lifestyle and they're able to talk about that freely in this class. If we could get more support, we would be able to have more workshops for people to learn from. When you're able to pass on that information to not affect just the present, but the future, absolutely amazing.
Hello, my name is Keith Borders, Vice President Community Development and CRA with Union and Guardian Savings Banks. Our business focus is residential mortgage lending and strengthening greater Southwestern Ohio communities. We salute the community impact of the Urban League's Financial Empowerment Center that is influencing economic pathways of low and moderate income families for generations. And we applaud President and CEO Christy Coon's strategic leadership. Thank you.
Welcome back. Let's hear from a special guest.
Hello, Cincinnati. I'm so happy to participate in this year's Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio's Our Community Matters program. Since its beginnings in 1948, the Urban League has persevered in its mission to transform generations by promoting economic empowerment and racial equity for Black and underserved communities. Last year alone, the Urban League touched more than 100,000 lives through financial assistance, training, and advocacy. Now at the helm, new president and CEO Christy Coons is developing a strategic vision to ensure impactful programming in the region for years to come. To Christy and the Urban League team, I applaud you for all the great work you're doing, and I hope you will be watching at home and will be inspired to support their efforts.
In the summer of 2020, protests all over the country called for justice for the murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and many other victims of police brutality. Thanks to a $1 million gift from the Urban League's board chair, J. Philip Holloman, and his wife, Gail Holloman, the Center for Social Justice was formed to answer the call for police reform by partnering with community leaders and municipalities in suburban neighborhoods of Hamilton County. The Center for Social Justice will have a physical space beginning in 2023. This space will be adjacent to the Black-owned grocery store, Country Meats, in the heart of Avondale. The center's vision is to see a region free from racial inequity, racial profiling, excessive use of force, and racial disparities in the criminal justice system. Making a donation using the QR code below can help to continue this good work. Now we'll hear from the Center for Social Justice's Executive Director, Raquel Howard-Smith, and Board Chair and Donor, J. Philip Holloman, on how the work has progressed since the formation of the center.
Hello, Philip, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. In 2020, you and your wife, Gail, made a transformative gift to start the Center for Social Justice. Can you talk to us a little bit about why you and Gail made that gift?
You know, Raquel, that was a very difficult period of time in our country. We felt a need to establish an organization that will continue to focus on police reform and community and policing relationships and the transformation that needed to take place. We wanted to be out in front of it and start this work.
We are about to open our new space, the Holloman Center for Social Justice at Urban League, and we're looking forward to opening up. How does it feel to know that your transformative gift now has a place in our community?
It was just important for us to have a space where both the staff would be housed, where we could have meetings and bring in individuals who wanted to share an experience that they were having with policing, where we can hold forums. We're going to have a gathering space there that will be utilized by the community, and that really speaks to the sustainability of this work.
So in order to figure out what was going on in these multiple police departments, we decided to send a survey to all of the police chiefs. And with those results, we created the Policing in Hamilton County report. Philip, tell me how you feel about us releasing such a big product that the community can use.
Yeah, I think it was a huge first step, Raquel. We found that there's a lot of inconsistency in terms of their approaches to policing. And so I think that absolutely establishes the base for us now to move forward and determine what actions we will take.
Absolutely. And, you know, when we designed this survey, we wanted to focus on questions that we all have. So in that report, we also made a list of recommendations, one of which was that every municipality department should have a community advisory board. What has happened over the last couple of months is that the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office developed their own community advisory board, and as a result asked the Center for Social Justice to hold a seat on that advisory board. How does that make you feel, knowing that the work is moving at such a fast pace and in the right direction?
I really feel really good about that, Raquel. And I believe that the Sheriff's Office can have a tremendous influence on the other municipalities and can really set the tone and the direction.
Over the past year, we've been able to form a stronger connection and partnership with the Sheriff's Department, and we've been in consistent communication with the Hamilton County Chiefs Association. And as you know, we just held a community forum, and several of the chiefs that we've worked with closely came to our forum to hear from community about their reaction to our report.
I think that was a great event to develop and enact the types of reforms that we think are necessary here in Hamilton County.
Absolutely. Transparency and accountability. Those two things are the cornerstone of the work that we've done over the past 2 years. And as we move forward, our hope is that more departments will come on board and understand that working directly with community is the best way to ensure both public safety and justice in our county.
The Urban League provides us with a bit of a roadmap that I don't think we've had before. Transparency and accountability really should be important to every policing agency in the nation. For years, the police said, hey, the public gets to know information as we decide to give it to them. You know, that created bad relationships because then people began to distrust what happened. And that's exactly why transparency is of the utmost priority, and it should be.
Raquel, as we come to this point in time, we all know that you are off pursuing the next part of your career. And we really, really want to thank you for the leadership that you provided. You are absolutely the right person at the right time to start this initiative.
It's been an absolute privilege to be the first leader of the Center for Social Justice. I know that we have accomplished a lot in the last 2 years. It's been an honor to work with you, being such a pillar in our community, but also having such a passion for this work. So now it's time to pass the torch to Fanon Rucker and Gabriel Fletcher, who are both coming on in leadership at the Center for Social Justice. And I know that this initiative is in great hands, and I look forward to being a community member and watching and seeing how far this goes.
And we will tap in to your expertise and your guidance.
Oh, I know you will.
Okay.
They say, once a leaguer, always a leaguer.
Right.
For over 70 years, the Urban League has been devoted to providing advocacy programs that really work together to ensure that the community matters. At Procter & Gamble, we also are focused on addressing systemic inequalities inside our walls, as well as externally, to ensure that we accelerate progress and that we do it with a sense of urgency. We look forward to a world where everyone can benefit from equality. We also want to thank the Urban League for their continued partnership.
Welcome back to the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio's Our Community Matters TV special. Scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen to donate.
On behalf of the Urban League, I'd like to highlight tonight's sponsors. Our platinum sponsors, Fifth Third Bank, Procter & Gamble, Union and Guardian Savings Banks. Our Ruby sponsor, J. Phillip and Gail Holloman. Our gold sponsors, Duke Energy, Greater Cincinnati Foundation, Interact for Health, Path Forward, U.S. Bank, and UC Health. Our silver sponsors, CareSource, Cincinnati Art Museum, Cintas, First Financial Bank, Ohio National Financial Services, and TriHealth.
Hello, my name is Roy Sutton, Fifth Third Bank Community and Economic Development Market Manager. We celebrate the achievements of the Urban League and all who are on the front lines in the fight for racial and economic justice. when Fifth Third Bank announced its $180 million Empowering Black Futures commitment to 9 neighborhoods, like Avondale, the Urban League stood with us. Fifth Third Bank reaffirms its commitment to the Urban League and to all who are making our beloved community a better place for all.
We hope you were inspired and encouraged by watching Our Community Matters, highlighting the impact of the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio. You've seen examples of how they change the lives of Black and underserved communities, but they need your support to continue this great work. Please use the QR code on your screen and follow the instructions to donate. Thanks for watching.